Well, here's ding round three. Um, I guess this concept kind of this idea, this perspective needed to go a little longer. So, so remember what I said a minute ago about understanding behavior and navigating and understanding how it's important to ask the right questions and know who you're talking to and go through the right doors to understanding behavior, right? Well, it kind of comes to an interesting thought. And I've gotten people a lot of times with this, right? We'll be having a conversation and they'll think that I'm not paying attention, but I actually am. And maybe an interesting conversation comes up with some depth attached to it, and they'll come back with, "Well, I didn't know that." And usually it's basic stuff, right? Uh, Stuff that everybody should relatively know if you've been out in the world for a few days, right? Um, but they come back with these textbook lines to try to like deflect about how they didn't know or how they didn't think that it was going to influence a bad outcome, or right, whatever deflection tactic that someone wants to come up with. But then when you ask the right questions and you catch them, and this one catches them all the time, but did you not know, or were you not paying attention to what was being said, or did it not matter to you? See, behavior and the way a person thinks and acts and what a person does, a lot of the times you can already tell the direction of where a conversation might go, all out of body language. And I know that's kind of a difficult understanding of this talk. And I get it. And I understand. Body language will tell you everything. Facial features will tell you everything. You will know if someone actually knows and actually cares just by their body language. If you bring up an interesting thought and their brow instantly raises, or they get that thought cue going on in their face, like they're legitimately thinking, that's when you know. See, I've learned in my life through all the encounters that I've dealt with people, and I've holy cow, lions, tigers, and bears. But everything can be shown if you pay attention to body language and to facial features while you're just basically having a conversation with somebody, whether it be a guy or gal, whether it be a partner, whether it be a friend, a colleague, whatever. And you will see the damnedest of things to see the cues of understanding or the cues of confusion, or the cues of just not caring. Remember what I said about a minute ago about whether to be able to identify a decent a decent open-minded, grounded person versus somebody who has their ego attached to their shirt, but who has their ego in a backpack. That's how you find out. It's in the simplest of things. It's not in the complex of things. It's in the simplest of things. Their body language, body movements, the way they speak. I've learned these things in the most profound of ways, and most of the time it was somebody who I legitimately knew, and I had something of a relationship with, whether it be a friend or family or colleague. The most profound of situations was when it was somebody that I met for the first time. And when you learn a person that you're meeting for the first time, what kind of personality they have and what kind of character they have and what are their characteristics, you can already, about 80% of the time, already know what they're thinking before the first word comes out of their mouth. You will already know if that word is going to be something of understanding or a cue to ask a question to understand, or is it going to be some kind of a trigger response, some kind of coping mechanism to cope with what was being said, to show some kind of concept or perspective to maybe understand. So how can we judge somebody, and how can we navigate somebody with that mindset? We teach them. We guide them if they need to know something. We help them out. That's the answer to that question. But, anyways, I hope we're having a great night. Love you all. Until next time.